Hey everyone, it's Harry from SlapYoDaddyBBQ, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I have a treat for you today because I'm going to be featuring some Wagyu brisket courtesy of my good buddy Johnny Love from Hunts Point Meat Company. Their website is huntspoint.com and they sell all kinds of meat specializing in barbecue and Wagyu beef, and they ship meat all over the US. I'm also going to be trying out Jealous Devil's new BLOXX fire logs, which has been designed for use in pizza ovens or campsites or fireplaces or wood stove or grills and for smoking meats. It's 100% hickory and oak logs, and it makes it really easy to start up your pit. We're going to cook it with some Jealous Devil Slap Your Daddy partnership rub. I have my beef moolah First Place USA rub here. We're going to show you guys how the BLOXX fire log will burn and how well it smokes and cooks with this Wagyu briskets from Hunts Point Meat Company. The lighting instructions on the BLOXX say that it can be challenging to light if you don't arrange it this way. I'm going to show you guys a little hack I use when I cook with wood on my Weber Smokey Mountains. I'm going to start the fire using a little bit of charcoal. Once the charcoal gets going, we're going to put the BLOXX right in there, and it should be burned fine without you having any struggles getting the BLOXX lit. I've got my 22 set up with a little bit of a charcoal. I'm going to use the grill gun, my favorite way to start a pit. This is just to bring out the inner pyromania in me and in you. This one is from Bob Healy from grillblazer.com. This is an indispensable tool if you're a pitmaster, and just a fun tool to play with. Turn the red knob like so. Start it up. This feels like a maybe an 18 to 20 pounder. As I've told you many times, this is very toxic. It's got a lot of pathogens. So you never wash your meat. We just toss the purge carefully in the trash. This is an American Wagyu, and it's a cross between a Japanese cow and a American Angus. Super good eating. A number of different companies have this in America, and if you want to get yours, go see huntspoint.com, and Johnny and his crew will take good care of you. A lot of teams are using his meat for competitions, and he has a reputation for providing some of the finest Wagyu and competition meats around America. He also sells a lot of other kinds of meats. If you want to go to his website, you can check him out. I'm just going to do a backyard trim on this. I'm going to cook it with some Slap Your Daddy rub. I'm not going to do a drastic trim. For those of you who are wondering, this is a Dalstrong Quantum Series boning knife. Super sharp, and the nice folks at Dalstrong sent me some knives to use, and their knives are super sharp, super good balance and feel. Just a pleasure to cook with them. I'm trimming off the fat from the point area. So a cow has a brisket, which is the pectoral muscle, the cow boobs as they call it, or Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles. They usually have a packer brisket, which it comes with the point and the flat muscle. Pectoralis major and minor are attached, and you can get them separated, but most of the time I like to buy a full packer because I think that it cooks a lot better. I'm going to have an episode called the Costco flat, where I made a coffee chocolate rub to go with a Costco flat. Show you guys how to cook a flat for those of you who are buying your briskets at Costco. Sometimes they sell only flats. I like to trim off all the fat from the point area, primarily because I want to get some good burn ends. So every animal has a different physiology, and if I look at this brisket here, this brisket has a thick layer of fat between the two areas. I'm going to try to run my knife into it. So Try to get some of the fat out. So Wagyu comes from the Japanese word wa, is Japanese view is cow, and a lot of these cows from Japan were brought to America and crossbred with the Angus in America to create an American style Wagyu breed. I've got a lot of videos on Wagyu already, so I won't get into the detail, but if you want to go watch my videos, I did a full-blown Wagyu from Australia called a Wagyu A9, where I explain in great detail what the Wagyu breed is all about. This one is beautiful. I'm going to trim off as little as I can because I'm cooking this for yield and to taste the potential of this Wagyu beef from Hunts Point Meat. I can already tell it's going to be really good from the marbling that I'm seeing as I'm trimming away the meat. This is the flat and this is the point right here. I'm trimming off the fat from the point because I want to generate some good burn ends. So, alright, there's Mr. Beans, of course. Now that I have a charcoal fire started, I can put the blocks in now. We'll let it get started and watch it carefully as the BLOXX fire logs begin to start up. I have all 3 vents at the bottom open because I reckon that if it's kind of like the post oak I used before, that would be the right amount of airflow to generate a wonderfully smooth draft in the pit, to create a great result on the American Wagyu brisket from Hunts Point. Let's apply some rub on it. Before I'm going to do that, I'm going to put some schmear. Use some Lee & Perrins Worcestershire. This is optional. You can also use mustard. You can use beef broth. Doesn't really matter. Just want to wet down the surface so that the rub has an easier ability to stick. So my SlapYoDaddy beef rub Mula, First Place USA. You always pat a rub down, you never rub a rub. You notice I have 1 centimeter holes. These are special caps that I made for my rub that you don't find in any other rub on the marketplace because I didn't like the way the 7 holes pour, and I got a special 1 centimeter caps. This kind of detail, I'm obsessive compulsive as you can tell, but it gives you a championship result when you use my products in your home. This is a really thick brisket, so I'm going to give it a nice heavy coating of rub. Since I'm not using any injection, I want the rub to really penetrate. Okay, let's come up to temp. Let's go ahead and put the brisket in. You can see I put my 2 blocks of wood underneath here. So, just to prop the brisket so you drain properly. Do my pebble trick here. Enough airflow. So, all set. Take a look at the fire, burning nicely. Temperature is about 325, so we're cooking a little bit hot and fast today. We're running about 250 degrees or so, and this is the configuration that seems to work. We have a 1 log or 2 logs at a time burning. You have the 3 vents at the bottom open, and then you have your pebble trick here to keep the lid ajar, so that it breathes properly to get you the right smoking temperature with these Jealous Devil BLOXX fire logs. I'm at the 5-hour mark and brisket is ready, I think. maybe another half an hour. We are down to about 2 logs here, and I took a total of 4 logs to cook this. About 5 hours. It was running a little hot, about 300 degrees, but we were able to make it to work. It's taken about 5 hours to get the crust to set on the Wagyu using the BLOXX. I used about 4 of those BLOXX fire logs, and they burn for quite a long time, and they burn really hot. Right now, I'm going to rehydrate the brisket, as I've shown you many times in my videos. It's very important to let the brisket absorb the liquid. To rehydrate it, you can see it's sucking like a sponge. Very crucial step whenever you cook barbecue, to be able to do this. At this point, you can put it back in the pit if you want, but to save fuel, I always put it in the oven, because once it's wrapped, the brisket doesn't know, nor does it care where it's getting the heat from, because it's not going to absorb any more smoke. So BTU is BTU is BTU. So if you want, you can leave this in your pit, but I prefer to put it in my oven to save money. All right, it's set the same temperature, 275. It's taken a total of about 8.5, 9 hours. About 5.5 hours cooked in the pit with the Jealous Devil BLOXX wood, and about 3.5 hours in the oven to continue the cooking process. And looks like it's all ready to go, nice and tender. I'm gonna cut it up and do a taste test now. I'm using the slicer from Delstrong. If you want to get this, it's on my Amazon store, link in the description below. These knives from Delstrong are amazingly good. This is the Shogun series, Damascus steel, super duper sharp. That's the one ear from the point, and the flat muscle below, nice drape, just a little bit on the over tender side, but still good. Pull test, yeah, it's pretty good. One on the back. Right. Tenderness is better on the back. I'll give it a taste test. All right, let's do a taste test now. We eat a piece from the left and a piece from the right. Okay, left piece is very good. Has a very characteristic flavor of a Wagyu. It's got that kind of oiliness, and the beef flavor is mild but yet very complex. So the flavor of an American Wagyu is different than American Angus. Some people like the Angus flavor better. Some people like the Wagyu better. For competition, I always cook a American Wagyu. But for home eating, I like to prefer the normal Angus, certified Angus especially. This one is a really good Wagyu. I'm gonna eat the one on the right hand side. Great beef flavor, and the beef flavor has the kind of the subtleness but complex flavor of a Wagyu, versus the kind of the Angus, which has a slightly different beef flavor. Also, the texture of the Wagyu is a little bit softer than that of an Angus brisket. So very, very good. Let me try the point muscle next. See here, nice color on the point here. Point is super. So again, thank you to my buddy Johnny Love, and for sending me the Hunts Point Wagyu to try. They sell really good meat, so if you are a competitor, you're looking to buy barbecue meats or cooking for your family, you gotta go check them out at huntspoint.com, and tell Johnny that I sent you there. Great meat, great, way it was shipped and everything, super fast. The Jealous Devil BLOXX Fire Log. So here's my overall comment. It works for a Weber Smokey Mountain. I think that you're better off using an offset smoker. It is not a kind of a fire log that you can use easily on the Weber Smokey Mountain 22. You have to be kind of an experienced pitmaster to be able to kind of coax it to get the BLOXX fire log to burn properly. It burns really, really hot, so if you're not careful, you can spike your temperature. I use it on a Weber Smokey Mountain 22, which is not It was never designed to burn wood. But you know me, I like to kind of do a MacGyver on the equipment I have. I kind of MacGyvered my 22 to cook the BLOXX fire lock from Jealous Devil, the same way that I cook using post oak on my Weber Smokey Mountain 22, because I don't have an offset, or I don't have the room for an offset in my Southern California backyard. BLOXX itself burns really hot, so I would not recommend trying to use the BLOXX in a Weber Smokey Mountain if you are not an advanced pitmaster, because fire management is key. You saw me do the trick with the vents. You saw me do the trick with the pebble. You need to kind of monitor everything to make sure it works, because if you're not careful, the temperature can spike. I had a couple of occasions where the BLOXX wood was running hot, then I had to kind of do a fire management by spreading out the blocks. I also had to make sure that I heated one log on the side to warm it up before I put the log on, because it takes a little bit of heat to heat up the blocks. So again, you know, this is offset cooker type of techniques that you really need to know before you attempt something like using the Jealous Devil BLOXX on a Weber Smokey Mountain. If you use the BLOXX in a pizza oven, you use it as a campfire, you use it to cook live fire, open fire cooking, you do it on an offset, I'm sure the BLOXX will be absolutely perfect. But, you know, me using it like a MacGyver person on a 22, probably not the easiest thing to do, but I was able to pull it off because I kind of know my way around live fire. If you're a beginner to live fire, use Jealous Devil's regular charcoal in your Weber Smokey Mountain and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't try to do what I do because I don't have an offset. So that was the technique I used to try out the BLOXX wood. I believe the BLOXX wood is on the Jealous Devil website, so you can go to the website and look for it. Hopefully it will be coming to stores soon. If you have a pizza oven at home, this will be the ideal product to use because it's got no ash, no wood splinters. It comes in a block, 35-pound block. And imagine I cooked the entire Wagyu using 4 sticks. That is a pretty amazing accomplishment, because if you have an offset, right, you need about like 14 sticks to cook a brisket in an offset smoker on the average. So in terms of fuel efficiency, I think it's absolutely great. Will I use the BLOXX again on a Weber 22? The answer is no, because it's just a lot of work. I would rather use the regular Jealous Devil lump charcoal from the Paragon X wood, which is absolutely superb. So enough of me yabbing and talking. Now let's get to the more important part of the shoot, which is Mr. Beans. You ready for your tasting of brisket? Oh, where's my brisket dog? Hey, brisket dog, you ready? All right, the brisket dog is kind of drinking some water, getting ready for his taste test. He's kind of like a KCBS judge. He's cleansing his palate before he senses that I'm going to give him some really, really good huntspoint.com Wagyu, American Wagyu, right? He's wagging his tail now at me, so let me go feed Beans and show you guys his reaction. Mr. Beans, sit, stay. All right, Beans, this is the American Wagyu from Hunts Point. My buddy Johnny Love, and he sent us a Wagyu to cook, cooking it on the Jealous Devil BLOXX charcoal. Okay, so I know you're not interested in my mumbo jumbo about how I did it, or how I cooked it, so go ahead, eat. Oh, he's grabbing the point muscle. Now he's grabbing the flat. And you like it, Beans? Good job, Beans. All right, see, clean plate from Mr. Beans. So there you have it, another episode from Harry from SlapYoDaddyBBQ. Hope you guys enjoyed this Hunts Point meat cook-off with the Wagyu brisket, followed by using the Jealous Devil BLOXX charcoal. So until the next episode, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm shooting this in the midst of the COVID pandemic, so please stay home, stay alive, and cook barbecue.